Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Kat. I make videos about lifestyle, so interiors, travel, family, business, everything that I'm interested in, and I'm interested in a lot of things. If you're new here, please drop me a comment so I can say hello and consider subscribing so that you can see all of my other videos. Today I am giving you a long-awaited office tour. Yes, that's right, a year after I made over my office, I finally feel like it's ready to share. If you want to know the sources for anything that I've bought in here, anything that I mention, I have made a huge blog post which links everything that we put into the room, which you can find in the description below. If anything is updated or if there's something missing that you would like a link for, leave me a comment and I will add it to the blog post for you. Okay, so this room is actually what would be the sitting room in most houses on this street, but the people who lived here before has extended the kitchen. So the dining room's in the kitchen, the sitting room's in the dining room, and this room was our playroom when we moved in. The children used to have all of their things in here. It was a really cozy space to come and play and sit and chat with them and read books, and that evolved over the years, but as they've grown up, they have used it less and less. So I saw an opportunity and I snuck in and stole half of the room for my office. Before this, I had a tiny little corner in our bedroom, and that was not conducive to happy working or sleeping, I can tell you that much. So for a year we shared this room, but it just didn't work for anyone. And I'm going to pop in the befores so you can see just how bad it was. My camera equipment was piled up everywhere. It was under the table. The beautiful big table that I'd brought in for shooting on just kept getting covered in junk. You know that situation where people are coming around and you grab everything and dump it somewhere out of the way. My table became that dumping zone and it drove me nuts. So when we made over this room, sadly I let it go. I miss it every day because it was beautiful, but it's gone to a good home. I'm not too sad about that. We moved all of the children's toys out of here and I took over the storage that was taking up for my camera equipment, my sewing machine, books, all of the bits and bobs that were cluttering up the space in here. We stripped everything out, and my friend Jake, who is an incredible decorator, hot tip, if you want a decorator in the Winchester area, get in touch, I will give you his details. Before I took over this space, the walls were yellow, which the children had chosen my favourite colour, but it was really overpowering on every single wall. And we had carpeted the floors for those years when children are learning to crawl and walk, because there's nothing sadder than watching a baby try and crawl on a wooden floor. It's pitiful. It's really pitiful. So we'd put a cheap carpet down here, knowing that it would get trashed, knowing that we'd tear it out once the children weren't using this room anymore. So we went back to the original floorboards. Now the rest of our house has white floorboards on the ground floor, and this room we'd left at the time because we were still using it as a playroom. So the floorboards were painted white, the walls were painted white, and it's a north facing room. The houses opposite are white, so when the sun shines like it is now, you get this beautiful clean white light all through the room, which I love. It's just so neutral. It's the nicest light in here. It does get dark sometimes in the winter, but to be honest, north facing rooms all the way. Okay, so that is the history behind the room. I came back from America to a beautiful white box last year, and Mr. Cat and I went to Ikea and bought some of the furniture which we didn't have already to install in the room, and this is what that looked like. Okay, so that is kind of the history of the room and the setup and the decoration. Not much went into the decoration, and one of the reasons I kept it white, which I don't tend to do all over the house, but I thought was really important in here, is because I like to add so much colour in accessories that I knew it needed that really clean, neutral background to take everything that I was going to throw at it, because I've thrown quite a lot at it. So as you come into the room, behind the door are these 4 pictures, which you don't see most of the time because the door's normally propped open, but anytime I'm having Skype calls or Skype meetings, that is, the door's shut and you can see what's behind me. So I wanted to put something really fun there. I love these prints. I've loved them for ages. The smile print I've had since I set up my first office in this house. So it has moved from room to room with me. These shelves just hold all of the things that I don't really want to look at. So there's a sad lamp up there, a cutting machine, a sewing machine, all of the Blogtacular shop, camera equipment, a duvet that I use when I'm recording the podcast, all of the storagey things that I don't need to see. And so I've tucked them out of the way in this corner. My Monstera does quite a good job of shielding those lower shelves, which are quite messy most of the time. The chimney breast and mantelpiece I tend to keep quite static because this is normally my backdrop for videos. The prints on the wall here, Work Hard and Be Nice to People, is by Anthony Borrell. He's one of my favourite artists and his life advice is second to none. I don't even care that this print is a blogger cliche because I love it so much. The picture is of a really cold winter's afternoon on the beach when the children were drinking hot chocolate out of flasks and were getting it all around their mouths and chatting. It was just one of those lovely, lovely memories. And I don't often print pictures, but this one I could not resist. The fireplace is original to the house. The tiles are hand painted and I love them. I don't think I could ever remove this because it's just so beautiful and it's working. So if I get really, really cold, I could just light a fire and be toasty in a matter of minutes. Either side of my desk, I have shelving again, mostly to keep stuff on, but also to display things. Because I can see this out of the corner of my eye, I like it to look beautiful. So everything that's stored here is stored in a nice box or it's stowed away. So these Ikea shelf inserts, I've used them to sort of raise the platform of this side. And then I've stuffed all of the cables underneath so that I don't have to look at them because that's my charging station. I have my Marshall amp here, which I play all of my podcasts and music on, and my Pixma, my Canon Pixma printer, which is wireless, which is so handy because it means I can print something from my phone or my desktop or my laptop or from my bed, and it's going to print whichever device I use. The cupboard underneath this side is filled with camera equipment and ugly things that I only have to get out once a year for Blogtacular. So it's quite nice that it just stays shut and I don't have to look at all of that anymore. On the other side of my desk, I have my old desk, which is actually a 1960s, I think, kitchen formica table. The drop leaves are really handy because it means that it's quite narrow in the storage, but I can also pick it up and move it around the room if I want to shoot on it. I tend to have my cameras sitting here, a jug of water, and some books that I might want to pick up and look at. Again, the shelves over here have boxes of bits and bobs for shooting or for work and other decorative objects, which I just cannot live without. My desk is from Ikea. I did toy with the idea of getting a bigger desk, but this one is actually the perfect size. It's really narrow in all of its profiles, so I feel like it doesn't impose on the room like a bigger desk might have. It has 3 little drawers, which I just stuff all of the things that are very messy into. And I love the monitor stand that matches this desk because I used to have my monitor sat on my old German dictionary, so this is a graduation for me. One of the key pieces in this room is my pink sofa. I had been eyeing this up for quite some time, and Sisters Guild had one in their store and I just couldn't resist it any longer. It fits in our little bay window perfectly. It's the exact right profile and it just reminds me of being in a granny's posh parlour. So I really enjoy that reference. It's really firm to sit on, and anyone who comes to visit me in the room always goes there first. That's where everybody loves to sit. And you can see it from outside, which means that everybody knows they've come to the right house because they can see the pink sofa in the window. Next to the sofa, I have my fiddle leaf fig, which I can proudly say I have kept alive for nearly a year. It is looking healthy, it's putting out new leaves all the time, and it's in one of my favourite pots of all time. It's the West Elm mid-century turned leg planter. It is glorious. It's a perfect matte white ceramic. The legs sit underneath it and they're really well proportioned. And of course, I've got the beautiful fiddle leaf fig in it right next to the window, just greening up my space. It makes me, I don't know if anyone else feels like this, but I just love seeing my plants as I walk through the office, or if I'm on a call to somebody, they're behind me. It makes me so happy. In this corner of the office, I keep camera equipment. So smaller equipment is on the shelves behind the door, and the equipment over here is things like tripods, light stands, backdrop stands. Got a slider in here. I've got vinyl photo backdrops by Capture by Lucy pinned to the wall, and it's just a nice tucked away corner where I can get things I use quite frequently very easily. Next to this is one of my favourite pieces of furniture in the whole house. It's my grandmother's bureau, and I don't know if you grew up having a bureau in the house, but I did, and it was the place where all stationery lived, like all of the cards that you'd bought in case you forgot a birthday, all of the envelopes, wrapping paper. I have continued that tradition, and our bureau is just packed full of stationery. It's an absolute dream. There's envelopes in one drawer, wrapping paper in another, ribbons and cards and all sorts just waiting to be discovered. It could probably do with a clean out if I'm honest, but if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Sometimes if the children want to come and work with me in here, they'll pull the top down and use the bureau as a desk, which is exactly as it was intended to be. So it makes me very happy. So this main wall as you walk in is what you're faced with. You see my desk in the middle and then everything on the wall around it. And I wanted this to be as joyful and as inspiring as possible. So my yellow pegboard I've had for absolutely ages. I hang my lollipop planners on there. Anytime somebody sends me a card or a photo, it always ends up on here. I just love collecting bits and bobs and popping them on my pegboard so that when I feel slightly uninspired, I can look over and remind myself of some fun times. Underneath is an Ikea picture ledge. I absolutely love these. I have them all over the house. This one is for my collection of Sharpies. I feel like when I'm generating ideas, I generate ideas best if I have a Sharpie in my hand. I don't know if you feel the same way, but for me, that's how I work best. Then I have my scissors. I absolutely love scissors. I love them so much. And I can't remember where I was, but somebody had all of their scissors laid out on the wall because it was a workshop and they needed to get them quickly. And it just made me think, yes, I don't need to keep my scissors hidden away in a drawer. I can put them on the wall. So the banners on the wall, one was made by Create Craft Kits at their launch, which was just wonderful. If you go back and look at my first ever vlog, you can see me opening that. The other one, Nikki McWilliams custom made for me, along with the cushions that you've seen on my sofa. And I love that because it totally makes it feel like Blogtacular HQ. The two pieces of wall art, the pretzel and the running lady, are by YVM, and I coveted them for so long. I got them for my birthday last year and they just make me so happy. This is the thing. I love things that make me happy. I made the Hell Yes banner above my desk, and I'm so glad I've got it hanging there, because any time I'm not sure about a decision, I look up and remind myself that if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. The pictures on the wall here just make me smile when I look at them. So this photo is actually me on my first night in a big bed. As soon as my parents had left me, I snuck out of bed, crept into my mother's room and went for her makeup drawer. Yes, that was my first time putting on makeup. I feel like I haven't improved much. Sitting on top is a Momoji doll, which was sent to me and I absolutely love. She's called Star. And on the wall here is an Anna Wiscombe bird, which I've been eyeing up for years, and I'm really glad that I finally got one into the house. To keep all of my cables tidy and all of my different hard drives and gadgets organised, I put up these mini shelves, which I cut down from Ikea shelves. All of this is linked in the blog post. And that means that my computer area is really organised. I've also got a cable management system in there, just because I really hate it when you can see cables swarming everywhere. I don't always do a great job of keeping this tidy, but it's better than it could be. Now that the children are old enough to look after themselves and I have proved myself able to keep alive plants again, I've been adding some plants into this room. I've got some ferns because they love the darker conditions. I've got some faux plants. Most of my plants congregate around the window because it's slightly brighter there. They're getting a bit more light. And I just love finding new ways to either hang them or pop them on the wall there, because it's just, oh, it's so nice to see them as I come home. And finally, the absolute dream piece in this office is my rug. It's from West Elm. I had coveted it since I saw it at a press day and talked to the visual merchandising team about how rugs really make a room. I just couldn't resist it. One of my friends bought it as well, and every time I saw a picture of it on her Instagram, I nearly died of jealousy. So when they sent out an email with an offer on the rug, I snapped it up, even though I hadn't even started decorating this room yet. And I do not regret it for a second. It is such high quality. Now, because it's really fluffy, when you first get it, you get these big clouds of wool coming off it as it settles in. And so you'll do a bit of extra vacuuming or just picking up of wool over the first few months. But once it's bedded in, it doesn't tend to give out much fluff at all. But it is so fluffy to walk on. It's cozy and warm in winter. It's lovely when you've got bare feet in summer. I love that I walk down this rug like a little runway to my desk. It really puts me in the mood to get working or to start recording, and I find myself digging my toes into it during the day. It is so tactile and beautiful. Often you'll find a child or a cat rolling around on it while I'm working because it's just such a nice rug, and the colours are dreamy. Honestly, if my entire Instagram feed could be pictures of this rug, it probably would be, because I love it that much. Originally, I was going to put it in the room crossways, but actually it just has so much more impact running down the centre of the room. It gives a real sense of space. You can see the white floorboards all around it. And I think it is the difference that makes a difference in a well-designed room. I adore it. I hope you do too, because I could have written 3,000 words about how much I love this rug. I hope you've enjoyed looking around my office. I'm really glad to finally be sharing this with you. Hop on over to Housewife Confidential if you want to read the stories behind literally everything, because I have a massive blog post over there. It links all of the things that I've shown you in this video, and if there's a link missing, just leave me a comment and I'll add it in if I can. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I have enjoyed sharing it, because it has been a long time coming. So thank you for your patience and thank you for watching. Please leave me a comment, hit the like button if you want to let me know that you enjoyed it. If you want to hit the thumbs down button, just click away now. Click away from the video, you're fine, you don't need to do that. If you're new here and you haven't yet subscribed, I'd love it if you click subscribe, not just for my ego, but also so that you can see my videos in the future. I've got some really fun ones coming up, and I'm also going to be vlogging again from next week, so enjoy that. My name's Kat, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!